Good day everybody, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Today, we will be discussing the difference between actual and normal costing system. We will also be going agad po dun sa pangatlong kapatid agad, no? Skip muna natin si materials, tsaka si labor. Diretso po tayo ng accounting for overhead. And lastly, for today, we will also be having disposition of overhead variance. Dahil nagkakaroon po ng difference between actual overhead and applied overhead. Start na po tayo. Factory overhead is any cost incurred to make products or perform services that is not direct material or direct labor. Okay? So alam niyo naman po 'yon na lahat ng hindi primera na ginagamit natin sa ating production process. Alam naman natin yung prime cost natin, 'di ba? Yung ating materials and labor. Pero yung mga extra cost po natin during the production process na kailangan po nating gastusin pa din, katulad ng renta, katulad ng insurance ng ating mga facilities at saka assets, depreciation ng factory assets as well, no? Factory rent, utilities, salary ng supervisor, no? Lahat po 'yan ay hindi sila diretso na ginagamit natin to transform the raw materials into finished goods, but they are needed to complete the production cycle. Many manufacturing firms have begun to invest heavily in automation, which has increased the cost of manufacturing overhead. Kung maaalala po ninyo, nabanggit ko na yata yan last time, yung may mga company po tayo na labor intensive, and then we also have companies na capital intensive. And these days, since companies are into the use of machines, automation, mga malalaking machinery, no? So, ang nangyayari po sa atin is mas tumataas po ang overhead cost. So, it's very important that we account for these costs properly, lalo na po if it becomes a substantial part of the total manufacturing cost of producing our products, no? Well, may mga company pa rin naman po na mas mababa ang overhead at mas nakafocus po sa pagbabayad ng labor kung labor intensive po ang ating operations. But we cannot hide the fact that these days, because of advanced technology, automation, and the usage of machineries, mas maraming company na rin po ang nagiging capital intensive. So, it brings us to the importance of how we will be able to properly take into account overhead na ginagaspos po natin during the production cycle or the production process. Okay, I will now be introducing you to the concept of normal costing. Mga kapatid, kung matatandaan po ninyo sa previous discussion, yung ating pong accounting cycle for manufacturing industries, kayo po ay nakagawa na ng statement of cost of goods manufactured and sold. Di po ba? So, marunong na po kayong mag-compute ng cost of goods sold. Pero kung mapapansin po ninyo, yung overhead po natin ay naka-actual cost. Actually, lahat doon. Kung magkano yung pinasok mong materials, actual. Kung magkano yung pinasok mong labor, actual cost. Kung magkano yung lahat ng na-incur mong overhead, ipasok mo lang po, no, diretso sa overhead account. Eventually, yun na po yung cost ng ating manufacturing process, and then dadaan ka lang sa mga adjustments mo as to beginning and ending balances of your work in process and finished goods inventory, which will lead you then into getting your cost of goods sold, no? Now, I want you to be introduced to another costing system wherein ganito kasi ang ang storya, kumbaga. Kung mapapansin nyo, mga kapatid, paano nyo nakuha yung cost information nung kayo ay nagjo-journal entry? Hinintay nyo na mangyari yung transaction para makuha nyo yung information kung magkano yung ginamit na materials. Hinintay nyo yung transaction for labor para ma-record nyo yung labor. At hinintay nyo talagang mangyari lahat ng magkano yung factory rent, magkano yung factory insurance, factory depreciation, mga indirect materials natin, indirect labor. Lahat yun hinintay nyong mangyari. So parang ang dating, malalaman lang natin yung cost of production natin sa dulo pa. 'Di ba? Kasi hinintay mo lahat mangyari yung mga transactions bago mo malaman yung actual cost ng product. Tandaan po ninyo na ang isa po sa trabaho ng cost accounting ay makapagbigay ng cost information. Di po ba? Kaso, ginagamit po natin yung cost information at kung magkano po yung ginastos natin during the production process. Ginagamit po natin yan para makadetermine ng mga ibang bagay pa na dapat nating desisyonan. Best example, selling prices. Paano magiging mabilis at competitive ang pagde-decide mo ng selling price kung yung mismong cost ng produkto hinihintay mo pa, no? So pwede tayong magkaroon o gumamit ng isang costing system na medyo agad-agad mabibigyan tayo ng cost information na hindi mo na muna kailangang ma-determine yung pinaka-actual na amount ng cost. Parang ang dating, saying it more easily, parang i-estimate muna natin and then let's adjust it later. Parang ganon. No? So, ito po yung tinatawag nating normal costing para mabilis po tayong magkaroon ng cost information nang hindi na natin muna hinihintay fully yung actual cost. Tapos, when we get the actual cost later on, eventually, we will be reporting that in your income statement, yung mga cost of goods sold mong ganyan. I-report mo rin naman as actual cost yun sa income statement. Hindi naman papayag ang accounting standards na estimated lang yun. So, babalik ka rin naman doon. It's just that we will be using a method na magiging mas mabilis sa inyo to decide on something, no? Which is normal costing. So, we assign actual cost of direct materials and direct labor pa rin naman po sa normal costing, but we use a predetermined rate to apply overhead to production. So, papasok na po tayo dun po sa ginagamit nating konsepto na tinatawag po nating applied overhead. So, meron na po tayong difference. The actual overhead na ginagamit po natin sa actual costing and yung applied overhead naman po dito sa normal costing. Ang sabi po sa second bullet point, yan po yung kinikwento ko kanina, it is an avenue for immediate cost information and uniform costing whatever season or fluctuation an entity experiences. Isa pang example yan Anong ibig sabihin? What if nagkaroon ka ng something na bigla kang nagastusan ng malaking repairs and maintenance kasi may nasirang machinery. So, for that certain period, magtataas ka rin bigla ng selling price just to cover those costs dahil yun yung basis mo ng cost information. Hindi tama, no? So, parang isa sa mga advantage niya, mabilis siya nakakapagbigay ng cost information para magamit mo sa decision making. At the same time, hindi ka masyadong apektado ng seasonal changes or fluctuations. At a certain point, nagiging uniform pa rin yung selling price mo. Okay? So, in summary, ganun pa rin po, pag actual costing system versus normal costing system, ganun pa rin sa materials and labor, we assign them the actual amount. Pag actual costing yung overhead, the actual overhead. Pag normal costing, naka-applied po tayo dyan. Using a predetermined overhead rate. Yan. So, maririnig nyo na po yan sa akin. Yung tinatawag po nating predetermined overhead rate, that will be the basis for your applied overhead. Okay. So, magba-budgeted overhead cost ka, magkakaroon ka ng basis kung anong level of activity yung gusto mong maging basis na feeling mo ay pinakatama at pinakasapat na representation ng iyong overhead activity. Okay? Ganun po yun. That will be your denominator. And that's how you get your predetermined overhead rate. We budget for overhead, we budget for activity levels. Ngayon, yung gagamitin nating predetermined overhead rate na mag-spell ng ating applied overhead, these budgets should come from rightful estimates like pag-aaralan mo historically, yung mga dating overhead cost mo, no, isa po yun sa pwede nyong tignan. Planned production outputs, baka naman may pinaplano ka, no, pinag-aralan yung mabuti, ilang units ba yung capacity natin, i-check natin versus sa ano po ba ang target ninyo na number of units na i-produce at ilabas. Okay? Kasama na rin po ng other efficiency improvements that the firm wants to implement. So, yan po yung dapat maging basis, no? In short po, sa pag-select po natin ng pagko-compute ng budgeted overhead po natin at sa pagpili po natin ng tamang representation of activity that would represent the overhead itself, kailangan po na pag-aralang mabuti that it really shows kung paano po yung dynamics kumbaga ng overhead during the production process. Okay. So, pwede po tayong mag-check ng past trends ng cost data para malaman natin kung magkano ba usually ang overhead natin. So, hindi tayo malalayo masyado kapag ganyan yung basis natin ng ating overhead rate. Okay? Yung iba naman po, dinediretso a certain percentage of labor cost, pero ito po kasi ay kung may ganyan lang naman na pattern yung company na parang napapansin nila na parang trend din ganon na yung overhead nila ay laging certain percentage ng labor kasi yan naman ang magkapatid, di ba, sa conversion cost yung labor tsaka overhead. So sometimes ina-apply ang overhead based sa certain percentage or amount ng labor, ganon. Or, pwede rin pong gamitin para maka-determine ng predetermined overhead rate, yung tinatawag po nating activity-based costing. Na lahat po ng ating activities ay i-check, iisa-isahin, pag-aaralang mabuti, and then we will develop a predetermined overhead rate on each overhead activity applicable to the firm. Now, yung activity-based costing po ang ating i-discuss next week. Next week pa po yung activity-based costing. Continuation po ng ating discussion sa overhead. Overhead cost and its related activity measure are typically budgeted for 1 year, although a longer or shorter period could be more appropriate in some organizations' production cycles. Companies should use an activity base that is logically related to the actual overhead cost incurrence. Yan po yung sinabi ko kanina. Kung ano po yung katotohanan ba ng pangyayari during the production cycle, dapat ganun din, no? Yung magiging basis mo for your, your predetermined overhead rate. Okay? Although production volume might be the first activity base considered, this base is reasonable only if the company manufactures one type of product or renders one type of service, no? Madali naman kasing i-relate naman talaga yung atin pong overhead sa number of units na ginagawa natin. It's a good starting point, no? Pero, again, wag nating i-generalize lang na ganun dahil applicable lang naman po yun kapag kaisa lang yung type ng unit na ginagamit mo. Paano kung ang dami-dami mong product line tapos ang dami-dami pang dinadaan ng proseso? Baka hindi na po applicable sa'yo na ganun yung sistema na ginagamit mo. In automated plants, machine hours could be a more appropriate base for allocating overhead. Makes sense kasi machinery ang ginagamit mo. So, imbis na direct labor hours, baka ang mas magandang representation ng iyong overhead, machine hours, 'di ba? Other possible measures include the following: number of purchase orders, product-related physical characteristics, number or amount of time used performing machine setups, number of parts, material handling time, product complexity, number of product defects. Again, pumili ka ng magandang basis ng overhead depende sa reality ng iyong production process. Let's differentiate yung tinatawag po nating plant-wide rate versus departmental rate. Okay, ano po ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa? Meron po tayong single plant-wide rate. Ibig sabihin, isang rate lang sa buong production cycle. All departments in the company will be using the same application rate for manufacturing overhead and the same base. As in, isa lang lahatan. Single plant-wide rates are applicable when an entity manufactures only a single product or different products are being manufactured, but it only goes through the same series of departments. So okay lang na isa lang yung basis natin ng predetermined overhead rate. Kasi kumbaga kung mapapansin niyo yung definition, mas lang siya, mas straightforward, mas simple. Ngayon, if we really want to differentiate it dahil feeling mo may pagkakaiba talaga yung activities between different departments, pwede kang mag-departmental rate. An entity shall use a departmental rate when different products are being manufactured. Also, departmental rates are applicable when products do not pass through the same series or steps of conversion, or there is a need for a dissimilar application of overhead, depending on company circumstances and attention given to products. Okay, so applicable naman po yung departmental rate kapag marami siyang dinadaan ng proseso or marami kang marami kang product lines, tapos iba-ibang department, hindi lahat ng department nadadaanan ng isang product line. Hindi siya ganun ka-uniform. So, mas maganda mag-departmental rate ka. Okay? Ganun po yun. Okay. Let me now introduce you dito po sa ating manufacturing overhead account. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, 'di ba, nag-journal entry tayo last time kung paano yung naging dynamics ng overhead. Lahat ng overhead na iipon sa kaliwa sa debit side. Tas pag ina-apply na natin sa production, debit work in process, credit overhead. So, yun na po yung word na ginagamit nating overhead applied to production. 'Di ba? Ulitin ko, lahat ng actual overhead ay naiipon sa kaliwa. Pag ina-apply natin, nilalagay na natin sa kanan para ma-debit sa work in process account. So, ganun din naman po dito. Under actual costing, your actual overhead is equal to applied overhead. But in normal costing, actual overhead, lahat dinedebit natin in the overhead account, pero when we apply the overhead na based on your predetermined overhead rate, ayan na, i-credit natin si applied overhead. So, magkakaroon talaga ng difference yung dalawa. Okay? Explore natin tong example na to. Let's say, for example, let's say, for example, direct materials natin 25, direct labor is 40, work in process nag-increase daw ng 10, and then the change in finished goods is nag-decrease ng 20. Let's have two scenarios. The first case is actual overhead is 50, applied overhead is 55, and the second case is actual overhead is 50, applied overhead is 45. Okay? Kapag ang actual overhead mo ay 50, mas mataas ngayon dito ang applied overhead mo, which is 55. This is the case of an over-applied overhead. Kasi ang actual overhead mo lang naman ay 50, bakit ang in-apply mo ay 55? Ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang na-apply mo. Dito naman sa kabila, yun na ba yun, Nick? Mamaya na yung kabila. Okay, o dito muna tayo. Compare natin ngayon. So, kung gagamit ako ng actual costing, materials of 25, direct labor of 40, manufacturing overhead of 50, yan yung actual overhead natin. Total manufacturing cost 115. Tapos, ang work in process natin ay nag-decrease daw nag-increase ng 10. So, ang beginning mo ay 0, ang ending mo ay 10. Kasi nag-increase daw yung work in process mo ng 10. So, ganyan ang representation ko. Or, simply put, kapag ka po nagkakaroon tayo ng change in work in process na ganyan, nakakita kayo ng ganyan, increased, no? Work in process increased by 10. Ibig sabihin, yung beginning papunta sa ending ay tumaas ng 10. And then, lagi nyo tatandaan, di ba, ang ending laging nasa minus yan. So, any increase in work in process is being deducted. Yan. So, pwede nyo magamit yan sa mga problem solving na technique. Okay? Finished goods nyo naman ay bumaba ng 20. So, from beginning to ending, bumaba ng 20. So, sa beginning ko naman nilagay yung 20, sa ending naman yung 0 para mapakita ko na yung decrease. Para mapakita ko naman yung decrease na 20. Ganon siya. Okay? Ayan. So, do the math. Ang lalabas na cost of goods sold mo, 125. Nung ginamit mo yung applied overhead, 55. Diba? So, ang lumabas na cost of goods sold mo, 130. So, yung cost of goods sold mo under applied overhead na normal costing, sa totoo lang, overstated siya. Bakit siya overstated? Kasi, over-applied nga po yung overhead mo. Ano ba itsura niya? Sa kaliwa, 50, sa kanan, 55. So, paano mo i-adjust yan sa cost of goods sold? Kailangan mawala yung overhead variance. So, ang gagawin mo, debit manufacturing overhead na 5 para mag-close siya. Magka-close na yan, di ba? And then, credit cost of goods sold, 5. Kung makikita nyo, kinredit yung cost of goods sold ng 5. So, 130 siya currently. Kinredit mo yung cost of goods sold ng 5. Bumalik ka sa actual mong cost of goods sold na 125. Sir, bakit kailangan nating bumalik sa actual cost of goods sold? Kasi hindi ka naman papayagan ng generally accepted accounting principles na naka-normal costing yung ire-report mo sa income statement. Tandaan mo, bumabalik tayo ng financial accounting dahil magre-report tayo ng income statement. Okay? So, sa case 2 naman po natin, yung actual overhead mo ay 50, tapos applied overhead mo ay 45. This is the case of an under-applied overhead naman. Kulang ka nang na-apply. Okay? So, ganun din dito. Materials, labor, overhead. Ang kinalabasan natin cost of goods sold, 125. Ang in-apply mo lang na overhead, 145. So, ang lumabas na cost of goods sold, kulang 120. Ano itsura ng manufacturing overhead? Ganito. So, debit cost of goods sold, credit manufacturing overhead. Currently, 120 siya, tapos nag-debit ka ng cost of goods sold na 5, babalik siya sa 125. Tandaan po na for income statement purposes in financial reporting, kailangan bumabalik po tayo talaga sa actual costing. Kaya po, yung atin pong overhead variance, kailangan na isasara. Okay, tandaan nyo po yun ha. Ang ating pong overhead variance ay kailangang naisasara. Okay. If the overhead variance is immaterial, we can simply adjust it to cost of goods sold. However, it is actually not an accurate way of allocating the variance because we have an overhead component in work in process. We have an overhead component in your finished goods inventory, and we have an overhead component in cost of goods sold. So, kung immaterial lang naman po yung overhead variance, talagang maliit lang, sige, go lang, diretso mo na ang adjust mo sa cost of goods sold. Pero ang mas maganda po na way is to, really adjust it dun sa mga accounts na merong overhead component sa loob. Mamaya, papakita po natin yan. When the overhead variance is calculated, the variance exists not only in cost of goods sold, but also in work in process and finished goods accounts. So to make sure that these accounts are reasonable, the variance should be allocated to each of the aforementioned amounts. Okay, so yung overhead variance na mako-compute natin later sa mga discussion natin ay meron po tayong allocation process na sinusunod at yan po ang isosolve natin sa ating mga problem. Okay, and actually we are ready to solve your problems. Okay, actually yung problems nyo ay wait lang, paano ba to? Nakuha ko sa inyong libro. Yan. Okay. Already na tayo makinig. O, problems na ako ha. Sa libro ko nyo lang ko ito nakuha. Ewan ko lang kung same pa rin ang given kasi nagpalit tayo ng edition. So, sundin nyo na lang yung nakikita nyo sa screen para hindi tayo magkagulo. Okay? Jansport Manufacturing Company currently uses the normal costing system in accumulating the cost of production. The following data were provided for the current year. Ang tanong sa inyo is, how much is the total factory cost and pagka ang overhead daw po ay 70% ng direct labor and the cost of goods sold if finished goods inventory is increased by 186,000. O, ihanda mo muna natin yung ating problem. Tingnan nyo mabuti dito. Issuance to production ng materials po natin ay 3.6 M. Tandaan po ninyo, pag lahat ng materials ini-issue sa production, baka may laman yan sa loob na indirect materials. So, wag mong i-diretso input yan dito sa direct materials. Tanggalan mo muna ng indirect materials component. Okay? So, kita naman natin dito that your factory overhead indirect materials is 230,000. So, tatanggalin ko yung 230,000 na indirect materials component. Your direct materials is 3,370,000. Pwede ko na siyang ibaba dito as 3,370,000. Ganon din po sa factory payroll. Ang total factory payroll ay 2.7 M. Pero, meron tayong indirect labor component na 600,000. Para purely direct labor lang ang makuha natin, 2.1 M. So, pwede ko na siya ibaba dito, 2.1 M. Tapos, ang sabi po, factory overhead is applied at 70% of direct labor. So, pag minultiply po natin ito sa 70%, 1,470,000. Okay? So, ang manufacturing overhead po natin, 1,470,000, which gives you the total manufacturing cost of 6,940,000. Okay? Tapos, your work in process beginning is 720,000. So, lahat ngayon ng umaandar sa factory amounts to 7,660,000. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ang libro nyo yata, yan ang turo. Yun ang tinatawag na total factory cost. Kasi pag sinabing total factory cost, lahat ng currently umaandar sa production, which is itong tatlo, your materials, labor, and overhead, and yung current project na tinatapos mo, which is your work in process beginning. Ang ibig sabihin kasi nitong total cost of work put into process, ibig sabihin, yan lahat currently yung umaandar sa production process mo sa factory. So, parang you can say that yan yung iyong total factory cost. Okay? So, yun. May difference po yun ha. Yung total manufacturing cost tsaka total factory cost. Okay? So, yun po. Ang alam ko, yung libro nyo, ganyan ang turo, ba diba? O, pag-usapan natin, pag nagkita tayo face to face. Okay? Given naman po yung work in process ending na 650. So, alam nyo na to, dire-diretso na to. Cost of goods manufactured. And then may beginning kayong finished goods inventory. Asa na yon? Wala palang binigay. So, yung increase lang mismo. So, pakita na lang natin nag-increase, no? Ayan. O, increase by 186,000. Pag nag-increase, mina-minus natin kasi sa ending siya napupunta, di ba? Mas mataas siya ng 186,000. Pag mas mataas yung ending ng 186,000, ang ending pinang-minus natin, di ba? O, yun. Doon mo palalabasin. Okay? So, cost of goods sold mo is 6,824. Actually, yan na yung sagot. Cost of sales. Yan na yung sagot. Sa totoo lang. Pero, if you have the capacity to get the variance of your overhead and to get into your actual cost of goods sold na adjusted, mas maganda ma-adjust nyo pa. Okay? Your actual overhead is kung ano po yung nakasulat dito, ito total mo lang yan. The total of which is, ayan o, tinotal ko lang. Kita nyo dito, ayan o. 220 plus 125 plus 145 plus 230 plus 105 plus 600. Lahat po ng actual overhead lang kinuha ko. Okay? Tapos, applied overhead po natin is itong in-apply natin kanina na 1,470. So, ang overhead variance po natin is 45,000 and that is over-applied. Over-applied po yung overhead by 45,000. Diba? So, your cost of goods sold under normal costing is 6,824. And then, i-adjust mo yung overhead variance mo na 45,000 dahil over-applied po siya, ma-minus mo. So, your adjusted cost of goods sold is 6,779,000. Okay. And that is our problem number 1. Nga pala, kapag pag nagno-normal costing ganito ha, sa actual costing lang po ginagawa yung tinatanggal nyo yung indirect materials at saka indirect labor sa mga total materials sa total labor. Tapos i-add nyo siya sa overhead. Sa actual costing yun nangyayari. Pero kapag ka nagno-normal costing ka na nag-a-apply ka lang ng overhead, kung ano yung sinabi sa'yo ng problem na mag-apply ka ng overhead, yun na yung overhead mo ha. Intindihan nyo ako, ulitin ko ha. Sa actual costing lang po nangyayari yung ginagawa nyo na yung indirect materials tinatanggal nyo sa total materials at yung indirect labor tinatanggal nyo sa total labor. Tapos kung ano yung indirect materials tsaka indirect labor, nilalagay nyo sa actual overhead. Sa actual costing po na problem ginagawa yon. Pag normal costing ang tanong, kung ano yung sinabi sa inyo na kung paano mag-apply ng overhead, wala na kayong ibang hahanapin pa ha. Kung ano yung sinabing i-apply ng overhead, i-apply nyo na. Ang ginagawa kasi ng iba, ina-apply na. Kunyari, sinabi dito sa problem, 70% of direct labor cost. Nag-a-apply na ng 70% ng direct labor cost, tapos nire-re-add pa yung indirect materials at saka indirect labor. Mali yun. Mali yun. O, hindi nyo po gagawin yun kapag ka normal costing, ha? Nagkakaintindihan po tayo. Hindi nyo po yun gagawin pag normal costing. Okay? Sige po. Next problem po tayo. Okay, let's have problem number 2. Dove Manufacturing Company's cost of goods sold amounts to 6.9 million. Pag binigay yung cost of goods sold, asahan mo na yan, working backwards yung problem. Kasi yung usual na endpoint na tinatanong, siya yung given eh. Alam mo na yun. Oo. Ibig sabihin, working backwards ito. Okay? So, cost of goods sold mo, 6.9 M. Ayan. The work in process at the end is 90% of the beginning work in process. Okay? Factory overhead is 60% of direct labor cost. Sundin nyo na yon. Okay? On January 1, we have the following inventory balances. Finished goods beginning, 2,040,000. Work in process beginning, 800,000. Direct materials beginning, 400,000. And factory supplies, 180,000. Okay. And then, may purchases daw po nangyari, direct materials purchases of 3.2 M. So, total direct materials for use po natin is 3.6 M. Okay. O, edi work back na ako, no? So, the question is determine the cost of materials, labor, and overhead added during the period. Okay? Ang sabi sa problem, finished goods decreased by 320,000. So, kung ang beginning mong finished goods ay 2,040,000, tapos finished goods decreased daw by 320, o edi palalabasin ko lang yun, na tinan nyo yung formula ko, nagbawas lang ako ng 320,000. Okay? Finished goods decreased by 320,000. So, from 2,040,000, binawasan ko ng 320,000, yun na yung ending. 1,720,000. Work back ako. So, paakit ako, di ba? O, cost of goods sold, add back ko ito para makarating ako dito. Marunong naman kayo nun, di ba? Hindi na kayo first year. Alam nyo na yan, pag nagwo-work back pataas, binabaliktad natin yung equation, di ba? Okay, so add back po natin, and your cost of goods available for sale is 8.6M. Ma-minus natin to go back to your cost of goods manufactured of 6,580,000. Now, if your beginning work in process is 800,000, and 90% ang beginning work in process mo ang ending, so you multiply that by 90%, that is 720,000. So, this one, add back 720, this is 7.3M, minus mo tong 800,000, you will be able to go back to your total manufacturing cost of 6.5M. Ang tinatanong sa atin yung magkakapatid na components. Okay? Now, unahin na natin si materials. Materials, ang sinabi, increased by 180,000. So, yung 400,000, dadagdagan mo ng 180, so 580 ito. Sir, paano mo nakuha? Eh, sabi nga kasi, di ba, direct materials increased by 180. So, yung beginning mo na 400, ang ending niya, 580. Dinagdagan ko ng 180. Okay? So, doing this equation, if your total direct materials for use is 3.6M, and then your direct materials ending is 580,000, then your direct materials used is 3,020,000. So, meron ka na ditong 3,020,000. Ang hahanapin na lang natin, yung labor tsaka overhead. Eh, paano mo makukuha yung 60% ng direct labor cost? Eh, yung mismong direct labor, wala. Mag-algebra ka ngayon, kapatid. Paano? Alam naman natin na total manufacturing cost is direct materials plus conversion cost. Simply put, total manufacturing cost is materials labor overhead. So, ang equation mo ngayon ay total manufacturing cost is direct materials plus direct labor, and your overhead is represented by a 60% of your direct labor. Nakuha? 'Di ba? 60% ng direct labor. Okay? So, the full equation would now be, meron na tayong amount ng total manufacturing cost, 6.5M is equals to materials plus labor plus 60% labor. Okay? And then, may materials ka na rin na 3.2M. And then, disimplify mo na lang. DL plus 0.6 yan dapat, hindi 0.06. 0.6 lang. Yan. Okay? And then, simplify, 1.6 DL is equals to 3,480,000, and makukuha mo yung DL mo na amount, 2,175,000. Which is, pag minultiply mo ng 60%, yun na yung overhead. So, ano ang nire-represent nitong DL plus 0.6 DL na 3,480? Yan yung iyong conversion cost. Kasi magkasama po dyan yung labor at saka yung 60% ng labor, which is your overhead. Okay? Ang nakuha mo algebraically is your amount of direct labor. Itong 2,175,000. Pag minultiply mo ng 60%, yan yung iyong overhead. So, yung tinatanong sa inyo na materials labor overhead, ito po yung sagot niyang problem na yan siya. Okay? Sige po. Let's have problem number 3. The following balances were taken from the General Ledger of Mariana Corporation, a manufacturer of first-class home decors. Ang hinihingi po sa atin ay balance ng finished goods inventory account ng December 31 and then the sales for the period. Okay. O, di fill in lang po natin kung ano yung available. Raw materials beginning 85,000. Tapos sabi sa problem ay purchases is 970,000. So, raw materials available for use, 1,055,000. May ending po tayo nakalagay 110,000. So, ang ating pong materials used ay 945. parang wala namang sinabi kung may laman siyang indirect materials. So, that's safe to assume na yan na po yung ating direct materials used. Okay? Tapos, ang direct labor po natin is, ang nakalagay po, 48,000 hours in which they were paid a uniform rate of 20 per hour. So, 48,000 times 20 lang po yan. Overhead is applied at 60% of direct labor cost. So, kung ano po yung 60% ng nakuha nating labor, kinuha ko lang. Okay? So, that is your total manufacturing cost of 2,481,000. And then, work in process beginning is 90, ending is 271. Aabot ako hanggang cost of goods manufactured na 2.3 M. Kaso, yung mismong nawawala is yung finished goods inventory account eh. So, hindi ako aabot basta-basta ng cost of goods sold. So, ang gagawin ko, itong third bullet point. Ngayon, the gross margin for the year is 1,050,000. So, lalagay ko yan dito. And the company's pricing policy is to maintain a gross profit rate of 40%. So, ibig sabihin, yung cost of goods sold mo is represented by 60% so that your sales is 100%. If you divide 1,050,000 by 40%, you will go back to the 100%. Yan na yung sagot sa sales. Letter B. Okay? 2,625,000. If you divide this one by 40%, yun yung 2,625,000. Okay? And then the difference of which, or you can just simply multiply 2,625 by 60%, yun po yung 1,575,000. Okay? So, may cost of goods sold ka na. If your cost of goods manufactured is 2.3 M, and your beginning finished goods is 180, nawawala yung ending. So, squeeze mo lang. Nasa gitna siya. Okay. Ayun pala, may suspense pa. Nandito siya sa gilid. Ayan, 905,000. Tama ba? 2,480 minus 1,575. Ayan, 905,000. Okay. And that's problem 3. Let's have problem number 4. Minji Company has an applied overhead amounting to 1.3 M. Yan. The total amount of the applied overhead is detailed as follows. So, binigay po sa atin na na-apply sa work in process is 200,000. Ang na-apply sa finished goods inventory, 150. And the overhead component of COGS is 950. Yan po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na may overhead amount ang mga account balances natin talaga. Okay? The pre-ending balances of the aforementioned accounts are as follows. So, bago ma-adjust, ito daw yung amounts niya sa T account. So, basically, ang COGS mo at normal costing 3.5 M. Now, actual overhead is 1,450. So, may variance na tayo. Calculate for the amount of variance, allocate it properly to work in process, finished goods, and cost of goods sold. Okay? So, ang gagawin po natin, ano po ba yung variance natin? 150,000 under applied overhead dahil mas maliit po yung applied kesa sa actual. Okay? So, under applied overhead po tayo. Later, pag nag-adjust po tayo, pa-add. Kasi under applied nga po, kailangan natin makarating dun sa 1,450. Okay? So, ang overhead component po ng work in process ay 200,000. Sa finished goods 150, sa COGS 950. Okay? Gagawan nyo siya ng mga fraction o kaya ratio niya. Paano ko ginawa? I-divide ko lang. 200,000 over 1.3 M is this one. 150,000 divided by 1.3 M is this one. 950,000 divided by 1.3 M is this one. Ganun lang po. Okay? Now, yung 150,000 po ngayon is kukunin na po natin per account title. Okay? So, the adjustment for work in process balance, your under applied overhead of 150,000 times 15.38%, that is 23,077. The adjustment for finished goods is 150,000 times 11.54%, 17,308. And then lastly is 150,000 times 73.08 109,615. I-test check nyo, dapat 150 pa rin yan. Okay? So, if the unadjusted balance of work in process is 675, at dahil nga po under-applied overhead, kapag ka po under-applied ang overhead, kailangan i-add mo yung adjustment dahil kulang nga yung na-apply mong overhead. So, i-add mo siya. So, if your adjustment for work in process is 23,077, so 675 plus 23,077, that is 698,077. You do the same for finished goods inventory. 525,000 unadjusted balance plus 17,308, that is 542,308. And for COGS, that is 3.5M plus 109,615, that is 3,609,615. So, debit work in process inventory 23,077, debit finished goods inventory 17,308, debit cost of goods sold 609,675, ay 615 pala dapat to. Okay. Credit manufacturing overhead 150. Okay? Kita nyo po kung paano nangyari. Pero, may paalala po ako. Ayan. Tingnan nyo yung problem na to. Ayan. Ganyan-ganyan yung ginawa natin. Actual versus applied. Tapos ito yung account balances. Dito naman sa example natin na to, diniretso dun sa account balance yung pagkuha ng ratio. Hindi, di ba yung problem natin kanina, yung kinuha pa yung overhead component niya dun sa loob. Di ba? Napansin niyo yung problem natin. O, babalik ako dun sa problem. Pansinin niyo yung problem natin. Ito daw yung mga ending balance bago ma-adjust. 675, sa loob daw niyan may overhead na 200. 525, sa loob daw niyan may overhead na 150. Tapos 3.5M, sa loob daw niyan may 950. Parang ganun. 'Di ba? Okay? Pero may paalala lang tayo. Yan. Pero actually, pwede nyo i-simplify na idediretso nyo yung pagkuha nyo ng ratio sa balance mismo. Unlike do sa ginawa natin. Okay lang din yon. So, ano ang tip ko sa inyo? Kung ano ang doable sa problem, yun ang gagamitin nyo. Tingnan nyo yung nakalagay dito. Theoretically, under-applied or over-applied overhead should be allocated based on the amounts of applied overhead. Yung ginawa natin kanina, contained in each account rather than on total account balances. The use of total account balances, however, could cause distortion because they contain direct materials and direct labor costs that are not related to actual or applied overhead. In spite of this potential distortion, the use of total balances is more common in practice for two reasons. Number one, the theoretical method is complex and requires detailed account analysis. Yun yung ginawa natin kanina. And second, the overhead tends to lose its identity after leaving work in process, making the determination of the amount of overhead in FGI and COGS more difficult. So, kapag ka ang binigay lang sa problem is ending balances at hindi binigay yung work in process components niya, edi dun ka lang gumawa ng ratio sa ending balances. Okay? Pero, kapag ka-available yung components, ay dun nyo kukuhanin sa components mismo. Pag binigay yung components ng overhead dun sa account balances, dun nyo kukunin yung ratios nyo, ha? So, depende po sa given sa problem. Let's have problem number 5. Universal Manufacturing Company produces a variety of products, all of which is processed in two departments. The company presented to you the following budgeted information for the current year to help the production manager in determining the cost of its prime products. So we have here your budgeted overhead, budgeted labor hours and machine hours for departments 1 and 2, and your actual cost information below. With a production of 5,000 units, letter A, pinapakompute po sa atin is plant-wide rate using DLH. O, ganito lang po. Pag plant-wide rate, iti-treat mo ang production ng isahan lang. Kasi plant-wide eh. Gagawa ka ng predetermined overhead rate na isahan lang talaga. Okay? So, for your budgeted overhead of 486,000 plus 564,000, pag-iisahin po natin siya, 1,050,000. And then, ang ibe-base daw po natin sa total direct labor hours, which is 27,000 plus 3,000, 30,000. So, your predetermined overhead rate, 35. Per direct labor hour, yan po yung ating predetermined overhead rate. Okay? So, pagka tag dito, Department 1, Department 2 po tayo, wala nang ano yan. Madali na lang yan. Okay? Direct materials po natin, 35 tsaka 10. So, mumultiply mo lang, 35 times 5,000. Ayan, 5,000 times 35 yung formula ko. 'Di ba? 175. And then 10 times 5,000, 50,000. Sa labor, ang direct labor hours per unit natin is 1.5. So, ilang units? 5,000. So, 5,000 times 1.5 times ang direct labor rate natin is 40. So, 5,000 times 40 times 1.5, this is 300,000. Okay? And then, dito naman po is 5,000 times 0.5. Bakit 0.5? Kasi 30 minutes lang. Baka ma-multiply nyo ng 30 ha, magbabasa kayo mabuti. Okay? 30 minutes, so 0.5 times 50, that is 125. So, sa overhead po natin is naka-base sa direct labor hours. Okay? Ito po yung predetermined overhead rate natin. Okay? So, 5,000. For Department 1, 5,000 times 1.5 times 35. So, 262,500. And then for Department 2 is 5,000 times 0.5 times 35. So, that is 87,500. And then, total nyo lang and that is your total cost of production. Now, for letter B, use the most appropriate basis for departmental rates. Okay, pag departmental rates, mga kapatid, ano po ba ang pinaka nagre-represent ng heavy activity dun sa department na yon na tamang mag-represent ng overhead? Parang ganun yung gusto niyang sabihin. So, kita naman dito na ang Department 1 mas heavy sa labor. Ang Department 2 mas heavy sa machine hours. Okay? Kaya, for Department 1, our basis would be direct labor hours. And for Department 2, it will be machine hours. Okay? So, your budgeted overhead is, dilista ko lang, 586 and 564. And then, direct labor hours po natin for Department 1 is 27,000. And your machine hours naman for Department 2 is 65,800. Predetermined overhead rates is just your the quotient between them. Okay? Ganun pa rin po yung materials tsaka labor, wala nagbago, no? The same way we have computed it. And then sa overhead po, syempre medyo magkaiba na kasi direct labor po ang basis sa Department 1. So 5,000 times 1.5 hours na labor hours. And then your predetermined overhead rate is 18. So 5,000 times 1.5 times 18, that is 135,000. And then for D2 naman po is 5,000 times ang machine hours po ha, machine hours. Machine hours per unit is 1.5, 8.57 yung predetermined overhead rate mo. Okay? 64,286. Get the total and that is your total cost of production. Last one. Trending company has a job in process at the start of the month. So, may beginning balance na siyang 252,000. So, work in process beginning muna yon. Kasi, inumpisahan, tapos tatapusin natin. During the month, ang pinasok daw po is materials na 63,000, labor na 105,000, and machine hours use is 3,600. Now, the company applies overhead based on machine hours. Budgeted overhead and machine hours at practical capacity is 2,586,000 divided by 48,000 hours. Okay? And then, multiply mo dun sa 3,600 hours. So, your applied overhead would then be 192,600. So, the total cost currently nung ginagawa natin, kasama yung beginning work in process ha, kasi nagastusan mo na rin siya dun eh. is 612,600. The job was delivered to the customer at 40% gross profit rate. So if your cost is 612,600, that is represented by 60%. If you divide 612,600 by 60%, you will get your 100% of 1,021,000, and then get the difference between sales and cost, and that is your gross margin. Okay? So the amount billed to the customer is 1,021,000. Your actual overhead is 202,000. Your applied overhead is 192,600. Saan po nakuha yung actual overhead? Ayan po. Sa ano? Ito. 202,000. Yung applied overhead naman po yung na-compute natin kanina. Nag-compute tayo ng predetermined overhead rate based on machine hours times kung ilang machine hours po. Okay? Under-applied po ang overhead natin, 9,400. So, kung ang cost mo ay 612,600 and then under-applied ang overhead mo, i-add mo po yan. Okay? So, your adjusted cost of sales after closing the variance is 622,000. Okay, tapos na po tayo. See you on our next lecture for activity-based costing and service cost allocations. Thank you.